We welcome you here to the Northstar Network, streaming live on YouTube. I'm Joey Cox, your play-by-play commentator, joined here by quite a crew tonight. Nathan Gillespie is going to be down on the sideline. We have Mason Hind, Gianni Cavelli, and Ethan Hansen here in the booth. We apologize for any wind you may be experiencing. As we're going to have a tough time. We're probably going to turn off the crowd mic for most of the night here, maybe for the halftime. I believe there's going to be a halftime show from our marching band, but we're going to try to minimize as much wind as possible here up in the booth. It's definitely a cool and breezy night, gentlemen. So, the Northstars taking on the Roam Free Academy Knights here. The Knights, they struggled this season. They played the Northstars earlier in the season, and the Northstars just had quite the showing. You know, they blew them out. Mark Barone, who coming into the game versus the Northstars had a 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. The Northstars picked him off, and since then he's had 3 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. So he's sitting on the season with just as many interceptions as touchdowns. He's after facing a Northstars defense who played spectacular versus CBA. He's been shook, and will be interesting to see if he can make some changes here and get going versus the Northstars. So here comes Jacob Gezzi, who had the unfortunate missed field goal. Now, not his fault, just great rush defense from CBA last week, and they blocked that one. And here we are a week later, exactly a week. We had this Thursday night game. Now, it was originally scheduled for tomorrow night, but I think they were like, oh shoot, it's Halloween. Everybody wants to get out and rock and roll. So trick or treat, and here we are. On Thursday night is what a monster kick from Gezzi. That one's going to trickle out of bounds. And they're going to call him not down, but they're going to spot the ball at the 2-yard line. So RFA, not the best starting position here for them.
Yeah, Joey, especially with CNS's rush defense last game. I think this is possible to get a safety here. Hey, Joey, with CNS being pinned back, RFA being pinned back around it too, I think against CBA their rush defense looked very well, so I think it's possible they could get a safety here.
Yes, very possible indeed. We saw a near safety versus West Jenny for Donovan Cheney. He got him just a few yards before the end zone, and that brought out to around the 8-yard line, so it brings up 2nd and medium. So they do move themselves a little forward here to give them some wiggle room, give them some breathing space as the play clock under 10 seconds now. This wind definitely going to play a factor in tonight's game, as he's going to be brought down just short of the line to gain. Well, yeah, just about a yard short. So it brings up 3rd and inches. Yeah, guys, you know, you got to think the wind's definitely going to play a factor in both extra points, passing the ball. We may stick to a ground game here tonight.
Yeah, especially with Myjon McDowell. He rushed for, well, he had 3 touchdowns, 1 kick return, and then he had 2 rushing touchdowns. So I would not be surprised if they start running the ball, especially against RFA's defense.
So here comes the 3rd and inches, 3rd and short here for RFA. Their run defense, or their run offense, has been a little stagnant this year. Is Mark Barone going to take it himself? I think he might be short. Let's see where they spot him. Yeah, I believe they're going to... Okay, it looks like the officials for tonight's game, Joe Nicoletti, relative of mine, actually. So that's nice. Can't read that handwriting. I apologize. Byron. Can't read it either. I feel bad. I'm kind of making fun of our PA announcers, or I don't even know who writes this, so apologize there. Mike Dixon and Ryan Van Hoover. Yeah, that's it. But Joe Nicoletti is a relative of mine. He's the ref for tonight's game, and they had a discussion there, so they're going to say it's 4th and inches. Barone going to keep it himself, and he's going to steam forward and reset the chains for the Black Knights. So wind definitely going to not only play a factor in the game here tonight, but it's also going to play a little bit of a factor up here in the booth. So again, we apologize for any disturbances you may hear from that. To answer Johnny Alisi's question, it is wind. It is not us breathing. That's how windy it is here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. So they're brought back. Oh. Did you guys see a flag happen on that?
I didn't see a flag.
No, I didn't see anything.
I know I'm supposed to be the one calling those out, but I didn't see anything on the field, and there wasn't any indication of it either.
Huh. So, based on the lost yardage, I'm going to guess a false start of sorts. So that's going to force RFA to punt it away, and the North Star is definitely going to have some excellent field position to start off this drive. So the North Stars going to be starting at great field position here at around the 44 for Myjon McDowell-Reed and Braden Dems. Dems just been excellent this season. He was a little stagnant last week, but honestly, because of the weather, they were sticking to the ground a lot more. So he really didn't have a lot of attempts, and those that he did, most of them did fall incomplete, so it did bring down his completion percentage a little bit, but he still sits just under 1,000 yards on the season, 9 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. So great effort from Myjon McDowell-Reed, as here we get a injury timeout. We'll be back in just a few. All right, we welcome you back here on the Northstar Network, streaming live on YouTube. There is still the injury timeout, so we're going to take a brief moment to send it down to our sideline reporter, Nate Jaleski. Nate, you were talking about how the weather is starting to change down there. It's obviously breezy, but you're talking about some other things. What are you noticing down there?
Yeah, it's definitely a little breezy down here. I don't know how bad it is up there in the booth, but it's definitely a little breezy down here. But a little bit of a drizzle starting, so it's starting to rain once again down here. I don't know if it'll continue or not, but that'll definitely be an interesting story the rest of this game if it continues.
Nate, do you think the wind is going to play any factor into the play calls we see here tonight, or just the play in general?
Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, with the wind, you don't really want to throw the ball. It makes it a little more unpredictable, so we're going to see a lot of running. So my is going to be probably a star player for the Northstars today, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Will the wind die down or will it not?
All right, thank you so much, Nate. So, actually, that's perfect timing, as we're right back here on the Northstar Network for the Northstars here. They have it back with second and short. So Myjon McDowell-Reed on that last play before the injury, he did a great job. You know, he got stopped about halfway and then powered his way forward to get some more as he finds his way around the edge. Myjon McDowell-Reed, he's such a patient back here for the Northstars. He reminds me a little bit of now, he's been a little stagnant recently, but that might be due to the play calling, and you know what I'm talking about, Gianni. That's going to be Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. He reminds me a little bit of that. He's patient at the line of scrimmage, and then when he finds something, he's shifty, he moves. But, Gianni, you got to definitely agree with me on this. I feel like Cliff Kingsbury needs to focus on giving him plays on the outside because he struggles in the middle.
Definitely. It feels like they're going to the inside almost every play, so
right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do it a little bit more.
Yeah, so hopefully they can do some stuff like this, which is where Bill Krosky-Merritt thrives as Myjon McDowell-Reed dives forward for about 13 yards, and he thrives on that outer edge as well. But yeah, he's been a star player here for the Northstars. He's averaging 8 yards per carry. He's got 20 touchdowns and almost 1,400 yards on the season. And he did great last week for CBA. He was one of the star players. As a matter of fact, he was Syracuse.com's player of the game. Despite the Northstars losing to CBA, Syracuse.com thought he played the best out of really any player out on the field, and they gave him the interview.
Yeah, Joe, he's probably like a breath of fresh air for Myjon after going against a hard CBA D line. So now he's going up against RFA, which should help him here. Yeah,
and it helps him there indeed. He sheds a couple tackles, weaves his way through a couple others, and he powers his way forward for another first down. That's 2 back-to-back first downs for him, and he's definitely going to be the go-to player here tonight. Again, as Nate Jaleski was saying, the wind definitely going to be playing a factor and definitely going to affect our play. So, Northstars now inside the red zone. Tied ball game, 7:25 left to go. McDowell-Reed, who's been thriving on the edge, goes once again, and a flag is thrown. That looks red, actually. We'll go to our rules analyst, Ethan Hansen. Ethan, what did you see on that play?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the pink flag means. We did just get a call for holding, though. That's what I would have guessed it is, but I'm not sure what the significance of a pink flag is. I'm wondering if it's a breast cancer awareness or of some kind, but I've never seen a different colored flag before.
I'm just noticing that Lucuzio Wright is wearing a pink towel. So, right with the call there, holding, but not quite sure, yeah. It might just be a personal preference color-wise. But I'd have to ask my dad if there's a rule against that because it seems weird. I feel like it has to be yellow because it looks like a red flag. It looks like he's thrown the challenge flag, which we don't have in high school, but still seems a little confusing. I could see the mix-up. So they do decide to go to the air here. Dems, he rolls out right. He decides to keep it himself. He tries to get the yardage back from the penalty. He cannot, though he does get closer to the original line of scrimmage, so decreases the yardage a little bit there. Bring up second and still long. Second about 15. So just outside of the red zone now because of the penalty. So let's see if they can continue with the ground game or if they'll go back to the air. Haven't seen a completed pass yet by either team. As Dempsey's going to step back. He fires deep for the end zone. And that's caught. Alexander Saloom. Oh, did he drop it? Oh, man. I looked down for a second. I saw he had it. And I saw his feet drag. And then I looked down at my computer. And, man, what a dot by Dems, especially in this weather. And I'm surprised, maybe it just has the cold, too. Cold can affect catching ability, too, because, makes sense why Saloom leads the team in receptions, in receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Only one receiving touchdown of Dems' 9 was not to Lucuzio, right? And that was actually, I believe, to Myjon McDowell-Reed versus, I believe, West Jenny. Don't quote me on that one. So they are going to go back to the ground game. That's not Myjon McDowell-Reed. It's actually I don't have a 42 on my route. I'm not quite sure. Did you guys see who had that carry on that play?
I thought it was 48.
48. So that's Christian Green. All right.
Yeah, we've seen Chris Green get in the backfield a lot more, and I think today's definitely a great day for him to get some touches as RFA's defense has been struggling. It's a run and pass. So.
Yep. So here goes the Northstars. They're going to go for it on 4th and 15. They need to get all the way to the 5 in order to convert. Most likely a passing situation. They still got Green in the backfield as a timeout taken by the Northstars. So we'll be back in just a few moments here on the Northstar Network. Northstars faced with a 4th and long 0-0 ball game in the first quarter. That. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network, streaming live on YouTube. As they're going to go to the air, and he held him. I mean, so Ethan, I think that was kind of obvious, but what did you see there?
Yeah, that one was pretty obvious from up here. It should be a pass interference since the ball is already in the air instead of a holding, which is going to help the Northstars more than just a defensive holding. Either way, it is a first down, but this is going to be more yards for the Northstars.
Now, unfortunately, they don't keep penalty stats on Syracuse.com or high school sports stats, so I can't really give you anything on that. But there is a statistic I did want to mention about Rome Free Academy, about RFA. Obviously, I can't say that they snuck in the playoffs because in high school sports, the divisions are so small that every team makes the playoffs, and it's only based on Class AA. It's not all of Section 3. So they didn't sneak into the playoffs, but I do want to mention how, 2-6 record. They started off the season decently. They were 2-1, going on to play the Northstars, and then they just hit rock bottom. Then they played the Northstars, and they've lost, including the game versus the Northstars, they've lost the last 5 straight. So I think they're going to actually say it was a holding in the end, because they did not. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I believe it's 10 yards in high school. It's not a spot foul in high school. So McDowell-Reed, he tries to fight for it, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. RFA comes away with it. But, yeah, I mean, RFA, again, they are 2-6, and they've lost their last 5 games. And that, again, that first loss of that losing streak was to CNS, and that was a blowout. It was 6-41. RFA lost that one. And you also got to look at their point differential, too. They're negative 175, which is just slightly better than Beeville. So they're second to last in Class AA in that statistic. And Beeville, who's not won a game, who's going to play Liverpool shortly here, you know, that's going to determine the semifinals. And if Beeville miraculously comes up with a Cinderella run there, then that game will be played at Beeville. If not, that game will be played at Liverpool, whoever's the higher seed. Or actually, it will be played at CNS if CNS goes to move on, of course. RFA if RFA moves on. But again, it all depends on whoever's the higher seed. So if it's CNS Liverpool, it will be played at Liverpool. But CBA, of course, with that #1 seed, getting that first round bye. And they'll be going on to play either West Jenny or Utica Proctor. As tries to get around the outside, gets maybe 3 or 4 on the carry. As there looks to be an injured Northstar on the play, though he does get up, so I think he's going to be all right. But yeah, another thing, too, in their last 5 games, including the one versus the Northstars, they've been outscored 246 to 54. So they've only scored 54 of their last 5 games, and their opponents have scored 246 combined over the last 5 games. So this back half of the season has definitely been a struggle for RFA, especially considering how Mark Barone came into the Northstars game 2-1 with honestly solid passing stats, and after the 2 picks versus the Northstars, he kind of started to struggle, and we'll see if he can pick some things up here as he tries to pick up yardage. He slows down. He didn't want to get a big hit.
Yeah, the thing about Mark Barone is he's a dual threat quarterback, just like Braden Dems, Green Dixon. You know, all these running backs, or not running backs, excuse me, quarterbacks in this division are able to scramble, a lot of them. So we'll see if they put a spy on him eventually.
It's definitely a possibility as he gets the first down on that carry. It's most likely why he came to a stop, though he didn't slide. Didn't have enough space for that one. So Barone looks to keep this drive going. 3 minutes left in this first quarter, and that play is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go, and 2nd and 10 here for RFA. You know, a lot of people are talking about if Northstars go on to play Liverpool here in the semifinals, it's definitely going to be much closer than we think. A lot of people think because, you know, Liverpool was previously undefeated other than the loss to CBA. As, man, those flags on the uprights are blowing. Here comes another timeout. All right, so the RFA Black Knight's going to take a timeout here. So both teams take a timeout here in this first quarter. We'll be back in just a few. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network, streaming live on YouTube. As Barone, he's going to step back. He fires across the middle. That's our first complete pass of the night. And Mark Barone is the one to do it. Crosses the first down marker, and that's going to be reset of the chains. So first down past their own 30 are the Black Knights. They were going to go to the ground. That's in a little play action, or not a play action, option play there for Mark Barone. He decides to go to the air. Good pass, just not hauled in. Intended target there was Luke Hammond. He's the tight end for RFA, but he has taken an attempt under center. Not necessarily, it must have been a fake play of sorts, don't know that, but that one attempt was intercepted. So fake plays might not be their specialty over at RFA, but Mark Barone, he's still a solid quarterback. Let's see if he can keep this drive going. 2nd and 10 after that incompletion. He checks that down to Luke Hammond once more. This time he does get positive yardage. He does make the catch, but not a first down, as it's going to bring up 3rd and short. About 4 yards, 3 yards here to gain to move the chains. Third and short here. 3 to go to keep this drive going. Both teams have had, well, RFA was forced to punt as good coverage. Oh, man. Send it to Ethan Hansen. I mean, he was right on top of him. I didn't see any holding necessarily, though he did impede his ability to catch the ball. So what did you see on that one?
Yeah, there was definitely a decent amount of contact. It definitely was a hit or miss play, but the ref that was standing right there actually didn't throw anything, and the official 20 or 30 yards downfield threw the flag. But there was definitely some contact, and I think it could have gone either way and been okay.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to But yeah, that was definitely interesting how the closer ref didn't throw that flag. Though always the question is was that catchable in the first place? And did he? Because there wasn't much holding. He was more on top of him, if anything. Just tough to tell if that ball was catchable. So they do hand this one off, as it's Michael Saufer who steams forward for a solid gain on first down. But that's going to be brought back because it looks like there was a flag thrown. What did you see there, Ethan?
I didn't see a ton, but I'm guessing this is going to be an offensive holding on Rome if they're backing up.
Yep, and Ethan Hansen, our rules analyst's prediction is correct. So the nice solid gain there on first down isn't going to matter as RFA backed up past the 50 and in their own half of the field.
We're seeing a lot more penalties than last game in CNS. There wasn't much against CBA, which was pretty great for the Northstars.
I think knowing that was a rivalry game, I think they just wanted to let the players play things out and just let things kind of happen. Barone, he's going to pass it. That one a little bit high, but it's hauled in from Kwame Smith, the sophomore, and do gain some yardage back, but not enough to get him back to the original line of scrimmage, so it brings up still 2nd and long here. About 13 to go to move the chains.
Seeing a lot of resemblance to the CBA game. I mean, CBA looked like they were throwing screen passes all night long.
Right.
Looks like RFA is like just about the same game plan.
Yeah, I mean, slippery conditions last game. There are a little bit of slippery conditions here tonight. Not as much as the CBA game, but the windy conditions is definitely going to affect some things too. You know, you don't want to throw a deeper pass over the middle or even some shorter passes, and you don't want the wind to knock it back and potentially get intercepted. So we'll see. It's definitely not going to be I don't remember the exact game, but the windiest game in NFL history. That one, like, you passed it, and that thing, like, if you were, like, on the second hash mark and you throw that thing, it would, like, zip all the way to the end, or all the way to the sideline. So we don't got that kind of conditions here tonight. It's not 50-mile-per-hour winds, but it's definitely windy.
Yeah, I could definitely see it playing a role in the kicking.
Yep. Although kicking's not been too shabby. So we'll be back in just a few. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network, 2nd and long for Barone and company, as that's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage as a huge TFL for the Northstars. Michael Soffer tried to steamroll ahead, but gets nothing. So Northstars a huge tackle for loss. So here brings up 3rd and a country mile, as Joe Canala would say. 3rd and about 16 for Mark Barone as he fires that down the sideline. Oh, man. Great effort on that play from Myjon McDowell-Reed. He's got 2 interceptions on the season, was searching for his 3rd. He tried to jump in front of the play. Fortunately, didn't break it up or get the interception, but great job by him trying to fight for the ball. But, you know, he stops the play short, so brings up 4th and about 7 here on this drive here in the 2nd quarter as we sit scoreless. RFA looking to get the first score of the game and strike first. Sends a receiver in motion. And he's going to get to him. And the Northstars get the turnover on downs after Damian Biddlecombe. Oh, no, I apologize. Not quite sure. Did you guys hear what Darryl White announced there for the sack?
No. I think it was Tay Jones.
All right. Oh, you know what? I think Tavion Jones switched numbers, if I'm not mistaken.
Or maybe it could have been Prodigy Shepherd.
Oh, Prodigy Shepherd, I believe, also switched numbers.
Was it 23?
Yeah, I think it was 23 and Damian Bill.
Yeah, Shepherd,
okay. Yeah. I forgot. Let me put that down now. So Prodigy Shepherd gets in there with a tackle. It's actually his first of the season. As the Northstar is going to get it off of a turnover on downs on Myjon McDowell-Reed. He keeps going forward as here comes the rain. Myjon McDowell-Reed, he's going to try to punch his way into the end zone. He might have stepped out of bounds, and the rain is really coming down now. Wow. There was a flag thrown on that play. Let's see if it comes back. What did you see on that one?
I didn't see anything. I was trying to see what was happening maybe farther downfield, but I'm guessing back by where the play started, this will be a hold on the offense, and you can see everyone moving back.
Oh, unfortunate there as McDowell-Reed. That was a quick thrown flag for a holding. Usually the play develops a little bit more before they throw that one, but. And usually the holding doesn't occur until later in the play as well.
Yeah, so that must have happened right as he took the handoff, and then that cleared away for him to run.
Yep. So Myjon McDowell-Reed's huge play. I think he stepped out of bounds there on the sideline, but huge play is called back. We might actually have to shut the, well, though, if we shut the window, then the rain gets in the way. Well, the rain's really coming down now. This is definitely going to play a factor. Feel bad for our sideline reporter, but he came prepared. He's got a rain jacket. He's even got the rain pants too. He came prepared. He bundled up, so we felt bad because he didn't get to do it last time. As Northstar's definitely going to stick to the ground. That flag thrown near the huddle. I don't know. What did you see on that one?
I think this is going to be another hold. Most of those flags that come down in the backfield on run plays tend to be a hold, but penalty has been killing the Northstars so far.
Mm-hmm. O-line, actually, a lot of these games this season, they haven't seen a lot of oh, it's a face mask on the defense. You know, I was wondering because there was a lot of kerfuffle. It's a fun word. Add it to the dictionary. Northstar Network. It might be in the dictionary. I don't know. But that's going to be a first down for the Northstars as they cross midfield off of that face guard or face mask. But yeah, in that kerfuffle is where kind of where the flag was thrown, and I think I see what was seen there on that play. So, ref Joe Nicoletti making that call. So the Northstars have crossed midfield and get some yardage back off of that holding we saw a few moments ago. No doubt they're sticking to the ground game. And Myjon McDowell-Reed, he is pushed out of bounds, but not before he gets a 20-yard gain and brings the Northstars to about the 30. They're actually calling him out a little bit sooner, so call it the 32 as the umbrellas popping up in the crowd. Man, this rain really coming down.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if it's going to play a huge factor. I mean, I feel like they came in prepared for this against CBA with the rain, and especially with RFA's run defense is not looking the greatest for him.
Definitely going to play a factor in play calling, just not necessarily the playing itself. Myjon McDowell-Reed tries to get his way around the outside. He bounces off a couple linemen there. Does not get the first down, but he gets close. He's left up with a 2nd and about 3. Call it 2nd and 2 for the Northstars. So Northstars definitely moving this drive along. 9:03 left to go before halftime. The Black Knights received first in the first quarter, so the Northstars will receive it after halftime. So they hand this off to Christian Green this time, as he has no problem. He is going to be pushed out of bounds. But, man, great job by Christian Green, just weaseling his way through a bunch of defenders, and he's definitely going to be the go-to running back for the Northstars next year.
Yeah, especially with the Myjon being a senior.
Yep.
He'll definitely step up and take the role, and it looks like they're already trying to develop him with these touches, especially against these teams like RFA.
I mean, he's got some great numbers with his minimal carries. He's got 8.8 yards per average on his carries there, and 255 yards and 2 touchdowns, close to 3 there, as he stays out on the field. Maybe give Myjon a break after some big runs, and also try to develop Christian Green as he tries to dive forward. He's going to be called short, I believe, yep, at about the 1, so it's going to bring up 2nd and goal for the Northstars, but they're looking to strike first here. Again, they will receive after halftime. 8:25 left to go. And whoa!
Dives over it.
Dives over the line of scrimmage, and Christian Green, he's got his 3rd touchdown of the season. Northstar's definitely doing a great job giving him these snaps, and it's not limited either. He's getting quite a few, he's getting at least 2-3 touches a game, if not more, depending on the opponent. We did see him out there a couple times versus CBA on a couple snaps, not huge carries or anything. Myjon was out there for most of the time, but when he was going into concussion protocol for a little bit, Christian Green was out there, so was Tavion Jones, as they decide to go for the extra point. As I can't see through the rain. Did you guys see if that...
Well, I think it went under.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be tough with these slippery conditions. Kicking the ball, and the wind and the rain playing factor, we may see both teams start to go for 2. So we'll be back. 8:01 left to go in the second quarter. Reminder, the Northstars will receive after halftime. RFA looks to respond. All right, we welcome you back here to the Northstar Network, as RFA going to be getting in just a few seconds. But Nate, you were up here for a second, just bundling up a little bit more. I know, I feel bad. The rain's definitely starting to play a factor in both the game and just you being down there. But Nate, what did you see on that play from Green? I mean, he did a great job diving over the end zone, and now that the conditions are getting a little slippery, do you see both teams potentially going for 2?
I don't know what you said at all.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just lost connection. I cannot hear you. It still says I'm on call, but I'll try to call you back and get this back going.
First down, Black Knights. Play stop by 44, Anthony Reggie.
So we're going to send it down to Nate Gillespie now that we got all the technical difficulties sorted out. So Christian Green, he had that incredible touchdown to dive over the line of scrimmage. How was the North Star sideline after scoring first? And then also, you know, they go for the extra point. Do you see both teams potentially going for 2 now because of the conditions?
Yeah, I mean, the energy down here is unmatched right now. I mean, taking the lead here in a quarterfinal matchup is pretty insane. But, I mean, with the wind, the rain, it was much harder than it was now. But the rain being a factor, I see the teams going for 2. I mean, just the run and the run game and even just a little bit of a pass game. It's just better to go for 2 instead of try to kick a field goal for 1. So we'll see what happens through the rest of the game.
Thank you so much, Nate. We're back up here in the booth. Again, I'm Joey Cox, your play-by-play commentator, joined by Nate Gillespie there on the sideline, Mason Hind, Johnny Cavelli, and there's a sack for the North Stars. There's Prodigy Shepard again. That's 2 sacks for him on the night. I believe coming into this game he hasn't had any sacks. Let me double check on that. But so yeah, I'm Joey Cox, as I was saying, joined here by Mason Hind, Johnny Cavelli, and Ethan Hansen, our rules analyst, as the North Stars get a huge sack to bring up 3rd and long. Now here's the question. I mean, with the conditions, you got to think, well, normally 3rd and long situation, you're going through the air. But now with these conditions, do you just stick to the ground again and try to keep the ball out of harm's way?
I mean, the run defenses look very solid from CNS, so honestly, I think they do pass here. Yeah,
and they did, but that one high intended. It's going to be a little bit of a wheel route there. Going for Michael Saufer, but that one high, maybe the ball being a little slippery or just the cold / rainy / windy conditions playing a factor in how that throw came out. As it's going to bring up 4th down and RFA down a score. North Stars go 1 unanswered. Try to go 2 unanswered after this punt. So they got plenty of time, 2 timeouts. They can definitely chew this clock before half and try to go up 2 scores and then potentially 3. And leave RFA with 0 on the scoreboard. As they try to fake it, they do. Can the North Stars stop it in time? They can. RFA, not quite sure if that was an intended fake. It looked like it was.
Yeah.
Interesting. They're gambling here on in the Class AA quarterfinals, and it does not pay off as the North Stars set up with excellent field position to try to go up 2 scores. Wow. Bold move. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever watched Dodgeball?
No.
You've not. Okay. you gotta watch. You gotta watch. It's a funny show. Okay, so there was a defense or offensive penalty there on that last play, and that penalty is going to be declined. But yeah, you guys got to watch Dodgeball. It's a great movie. It's got some great actors: Vince Vaughn, Alan Tudyk. I'm trying to think of some other big names there. Oh, Ben Stiller. A lot of big names in that movie. It's a good movie. Really funny, like a little slapstick comedy. And one of there's a dodgeball tournament, and the one team, because they don't have enough players, they is a tackle for loss. Yeah, that's going to be Tavion Jones on the carry. Mijah McDowell-Reed's still out. I didn't see him get injured or anything, so maybe they're just trying to rest him a little bit here. You know, you got time on the board. You're up a score. Not quite sure the thought process behind that, but Tavion Jones brought down for a tackle for loss. But, you know, it's a funny movie, and one of the times the team they don't have enough players, so they're forced to forfeit. And one of the commentators, he's kind of like stupid, if you will, and he's like, well, that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Obviously, it's not because they had no choice. But yeah, it's a funny movie. The commentators are good in that one, and the Northstars do go through the air. That's Dem's first complete pass of the night. He had one that was a beautiful pass to Saloon, just with some of the conditions here tonight. He unfortunately dropped in the corner of the end zone, and this time he does connect on that pass.
Yeah, I definitely expect to see a little bit more passing because CBA's secondary was amazing. So, and then now you're going up against RFA, who struggles against, like I've said previously, the run and the pass. So.
And it looks like all the umbrellas have gone down in the crowd. It looks like the rain is starting to slow down a little bit here as well. So 3rd and short here for the Northstars. They're on the heels of the red zone. Oh, and there's going to be an offsides. Unless the Northstars jumped first, and he was reacting to it. I believe it's going to be offsides. Joe Nicoletti with the call. Yep, it's going to be offsides on RFA. It's on 52, Elijah Pomales, senior D lineman, as that's going to be an automatic first down, first down based on yardage. Not quite sure if it's an automatic first down in high school, and I don't think it is. It's Christian Green. He's got speed. He fights forward, and he's got the first down. The Northstars officially in the red zone, and Christian Green brings the Northstars past the 10. Another thing, too, the history for CNS versus RFA, they blew them out at home. This game, conditions may be playing a factor why it's a little bit lower scoring than last game. But they blew them out at home. Right now they're looking confident here. I think that's why we're seeing Myjon McDowell-Reed rested. They want to keep him as healthy as possible because the way this game is going to – the way if history repeats itself here tonight and if this game continues the way it's been going, then the Northstar should easily come away with the victory. And you want him to be rested versus most likely Liverpool in the semifinals.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if for some case Myjon McDowell gets injured, it'd be a big loss for the Northstars, and especially with the development of Christian Green,
right.
Getting him touches early. So. And
he's been great for the Northstars too, giving them a 1st and goal here. They do go to Tavion Jones this time. He's also been a great back, but he is a senior, so he'll be leaving this year. He's been really solid on defense.
Yeah, big sack man.
Yeah, he's got 5 sacks on the season for him. Now I'm not 100% sure if it's 5 because I don't know if they count half sacks in high school. And I believe he had a half sack last game, and I went on high school sports stats, and they said 4 sacks. I've never seen a like 4.5 sacks before on high school sports stats, so not quite sure there. So according to the website, he's got 4. But from what I saw last game, he had 1.5 to 2, depending on how they give it to you. Oh, it was a good fake. I actually thought Tavion Jones had it. Dems keeps it himself. He doesn't get anything. It's 3rd and goal. Northstars, not a lot of yards left to go as Christian Green coming back into the game. A couple substitutions here for the Northstars. They maybe gave him a half yard, but not much. So Northstars with 2:25 left to go in this second quarter. They'll get the ball back after halftime. They look to go up 2 scores. Receiver to the right, receiver to the left. 2 tight ends on the line. As they give it to Christian Green with the extra effort, he's going to be ruled down at around the half-yard line. About 1st and goal from... Yeah, about the half-yard line there. So, 4th and inches.
Yeah, Joey, if the tush push was legal in high school football, I think now would be a great time to use it.
Yep. Fortunately, not in this case. So, Christian Green still lined up there in the backfield. A couple receivers go to the right. That's Alexander Saloom. They're in the bunch formation. They give it to Green. He pushes forward. That's a touchdown, and the Northstars are going to go up 2 unanswered for them. And RFA, they do have time. They got 2 timeouts left, so they could put together a drive, but definitely with this win, it's becoming a little bit difficult to go to the air. So Northstars, great job by Christian Green. He's a great power back, you know.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Myjon McDowell speeds, but he's got the build, and even without the speed, he can play. He's almost like a Cam Scadaboo.
That's what
kind
I
of
think.
Yeah.
Of that.
Yeah, look at that. We're all thinking on the same wavelength here. He's kind of got that power, just kind of like head first kind of mentality. Yes, there's a flag on the play.
I think I saw a jump there.
Wow. I didn't even see that happen. Gianni saw it, but Ethan, what did you see? Who perhaps had the jump?
No, it's hard to tell who it was, but I definitely did see a little bit of a jump for the offense, but it looks like they're still going to go for 2 here.
Yeah, that's going to be a receiver on the left. I can't tell what number that is. I think that's going to be 6, so that's going to be Alexander Saloom. Oh, actually, it's 5, Donovan Chaney. With the jump.
Yeah, they're giving Cheney a little bit more offensive snaps tonight.
Yep. I mean, he honestly. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Braden Dems waltzes into the end zone, and that's an easy 2-point conversion for him. Great job on that play. Dems with the keeper to give the Northstars a 14-point lead. 2 unanswered for them, and RFA looks to respond with 1:26 left to go. But Chaney, yeah, he's second on the team with tackles, 40. Actually, he might be behind. Yeah, there's Dom DeViro, so he's actually third on the team. Yeah, great job eluding the pressure there. And then Dem's speed just takes over. And he's got nobody in the area. He's got a couple guys in the area, but just outruns them and tiptoes into the end zone for an easy 2-point conversion for the Northstars. So we'll be back in just a few moments. Kickoff when... after the touchdown kickoff, yes, coming in just a few moments. RFA looking to get a response. If not, the Northstars will be up 2 scores before half. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network as Gezi boots that one away. He's been doing great on the kickoffs here, considering the conditions. As Green gets a little bit of action there on the tackle. Speaking of him, yeah, Northstar's doing a great job developing him here tonight, giving him some meaningful snaps, getting him prepared for most likely RB1 position in senior year. Little score update on the boys volleyball game. They currently lead 2 sets to nothing, and they lead the 3rd set 3-1 currently versus Living Word Academy. So no surprise there. So not the best starting position for RFA if they're looking to score before halftime.
What a spin move.
A little bit of a spin move there. Great job. Good effort there from Dwayne Tillman as he was uncontested there on that catch. Barone with just a quick pass to the sideline and does stop the clock there for a moment. So it moves the chains. They're past the 30. And they do have 2 timeouts left, so.
Yeah, they look very confident in the air tonight.
Barone. Replay.
Another one.
So a little bit of a screenplay there. Oh, it was the exact same play. Just no spin move there from Dwayne Tillman. Same receiver, not the same amount of yards, however. As it brings up second and medium, clock keeps running.
Same play.
Same play. They're trying to get out of bounds is what's happening here. Last play didn't get out of bounds. This one he does, so it stops the clock. So 1:02 left to go. Hey Nate, if you can hear me, I'm gonna give me a thumbs up. All right, I'm gonna send it down to halftime. So Barone and company passed their own 40. Look to score quickly here and try to decrease this deficit. Barone holds on to it, and a huge sack there.
It's going to be the same play.
Yeah.
Number 2 ran the same route.
Same route. And the Northstars sniffing it out right there. Not even necessarily sniff. They are just
knew it was coming.
They knew it was coming. They were prepared, and they sent. Looked like 4 on that play. But great job.
Dominic Summers.
That's Dominic Summers, yeah, that's his 3rd sack of the season.
Yeah, also an uprising junior.
Yep.
For the Northstars.
Definitely going to make some big plays next year. In the absence of some big playmakers for the Northstars. Barone does slip free. He sends that deep.
Oh, almost.
No contact, so that's going to be incomplete. It was a pretty good pass, especially in these conditions. Just a little bit overthrown.
Yeah, especially on the run, too.
Right? Yeah, he steps up in the pocket, just steps forward, just slings it downfield. He was looking. Looked like it was Luke Hammond on the target there. He's also the kicker for RFA as well, as they do not have a designated kicker unlike the Northstars with Jacob Gezzi. So Northstars not having any of it. Just completely shut that down, and that's going to do it for the first half. So we're going to send it to Nate Gillespie down there on the sideline. So, oh, we do get a timeout. Okay, never mind. I saw the clock running, and I figured they were just going to let it go, but I guess they're just going to, I mean, you might as well. If they turn it over, the Northstars really can't do anything, so you might as well take one last shot. Yeah. So we'll be back. You know what, actually, it's a good time, actually, to send it down to our sideline reporter, Nate Gillespie. So, Nate, Christian Green, he's got both of the scores here tonight for the Northstars. And, he's a junior. He's definitely going to be taking the place of Myjon McDowell-Reed after he retires. What am I saying? After he graduates next year. So, what have you seen from Christian Green that's definitely going to make him the RB1 next year?
I mean, he's definitely made some strong plays today. I mean, of course, as you said, he's got both touchdowns for CNS today. But, I mean, he's just been playing absolutely extraordinary today. And if he keeps this up, I think they're just trying to work on him, knowing that McDowell-Reed is going to be leaving them this year. So I guess we'll see what happens at the rest of this game. But they're going to focus on him and try to build on him today. I guess we'll have to find out.
Thank you so much, Nate. We welcome you back up here in the booth as CBA takes a timeout there. So they're left with a 4th and a country mile. I apologize, I mean RFA taking the timeout with 4th and a country mile. And they got enough time for a play. The Northstars, if RFA turns it over, Northstars really can't do much with it unless they take a quick timeout maybe, but and have one last shot. But I think the Northstars have a comfortable lead if they do turn it over, and they're getting the ball back after half, so no reason to put the ball in harm's way. So CBA going to take one last shot. Or are they going to just punt it? I don't know why they would take a timeout.
Yeah, I'm a little interested with
Or
these.
did the Northstars take a timeout?
I have no idea.
Okay, never mind. So the Northstars did take a timeout. So my apologies there. I was a little confused why CBA would take a timeout. Or see, why do I keep saying that? You know, I think it's because they both are 3-letter abbreviations for their names. RFA, CBA, they both end in A. I don't know. We'll be back here after a 12-minute halftime break on the Northstar Network. Northstar is going to receive it after halftime. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network, streaming live on YouTube. I'm Joey Cox, your play-by-play commentator for tonight's matchup. The number 3 Northstars taking on the number 6 RFA Black Knights. I apologize for calling them CBA multiple times earlier. I guess the 3-letter acronym, short and hyphenated way of calling them, I guess kind of screwed me up. They both end in A, just a whole slew of things. But nonetheless, the Northstars are going to receive it here for the start of the second half. Up 2 scores here, 14-0.
I think I see the rain starting to come down again.
Yeah, rain's starting to come down a little bit. Still windy, still cold. That'll be playing a factor here tonight.
Yeah, I think CNS just going to keep pounding the ball through the gaps and stuff.
Yeah.
That one going to roll. And he does drop on top of it.
Same way the first half started.
Yeah, and Maisha McDowell-Reed usually takes the returns, but here tonight, it's actually Caius Johnson, the backup quarterback for the Northstars.
Yeah, I got word Maisha McDowell may be injured of some sort.
Let's hope not. Let's hope they're just resting him just to play things safe. Because that's definitely not
Big
the
key
way.
Player. Yeah.
Right, big key player, and if they lost him coming into the semifinals potentially here, again the Northstars will most likely be playing Liverpool if they move on. And he gets nothing out of that one.
Clobbered by RFA players.
Nothing going for him, and it's going to bring up second down. Gets a few, but not enough. So second and long here for the Northstars. About 2nd and 3. Or 2nd and 7, I apologize, and no room to move there either. Once again for Tavion Jones. And the Northstars offense looks like they're going to start to fall off a little bit. Let's hope they can get something going here.
Yeah, it looks like RFA could have adjusted something at halftime because this run offense that was working in the first half is going nowhere right now.
Just getting completely pushed back by the O-line. D-line, sorry.
So let's see if they can make any changes here. So RFA defense starting off solid. Let's see if the Northstars can make some adjustments. Dems. He's going to step back. He dumps that one off for Tavion Jones,
Tripped up. Turf
who gets
monster.
tripped up, and that's going to do it for that drive for the Northstars.
Turf monster always comes out.
Yep.
Punt team coming in. So Gazzy will probably boo this one away.
Yeah, Turf Monster eats him up there, and you can see it. Yep. So Gezi going to come out to punt this one away for the Northstars. So not the way they want to start, but they still have a comfortable lead.
Yeah, rain slowed down, so I don't think it'll be a big factor in this punt in case he muffs or does anything here, snap-wise.
That one a little bit high,
Yeah.
but Gezi gets the hold. He sends that one sky high, and it's going to roll past the Northstars 40. So good starting position here for RFA down 2. So here in the quarterfinals, the Black Knights trail it 14-0. The Northstars have scored 2 unanswered as RFA looks to make this a 1-score game. Mark Barone and company looking to make some changes as he takes off, uses his legs, and actually That's not Mark Barone. That's Luke Hammond, who takes the direct snap. Not quite sure if they're experimenting and putting him in as quarterback. But Mark Barone, he was having a couple. He had a couple overthrown passes. But other than that, he's been doing pretty solid.
Yeah,
So.
I think that may have just been a wildcat formation. Yeah, it looks like Barone's coming back.
Yep. So just like a little bit of a. A little bit of a Tyler Warren-esque play there with the tight end taking the direct snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As they fight forward past the 30. It's going to bring up third down. Good effort there. Doesn't get the first down, but makes it a third and manageable. Or sorry, second and manageable. The marching band, they serenading us, I guess. I don't know. they love doing their little clicker while we're doing games over here. And there's going to be a flag on the play. Did you see a little bit of a false start maybe there, Ethan?
Yeah, they're pointing towards the Rome sideline. I'm guessing this will be a false start. There's not really anything else it could be.
As the rain starts coming down and it's going sideways.
Oh,
It's
boy.
coming into the booth a little bit.
Fans are scrambling for their umbrellas.
Yep.
Bad day with the rain tomorrow for Halloween.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. If I'm being totally honest, like me and my friends were just planning on staying inside and playing games and stuff, so wasn't really going to affect our plans. But well, while we have this short break here, let's just take a look at the playoff picture here. Well, obviously we're already in the playoffs, but just a little look at the bracket here. We got our game here tonight. Number 3, Northstars taking on RFA, and then also tonight you got the Bevo-Liverpool game, which shouldn't be too much of a contest there for Liverpool. It should be a breeze into the next round, and that's going to be most likely at Liverpool if they do win. So we'll take a look at that later and throughout the game. So second and manageable. As he fights forward, he's going to be just short of the first down. It's going to bring up third and inches for RFA, as they're definitely chewing a lot of clock. They've chewed about the first 5 minutes here of this third quarter. They're definitely doing a good job keeping the ball out of the Northstars' hands, and down 2 scores, looking to make this a 1-score game.
Yeah, that's the one thing I find a little bit interesting about it, is they are down 2 scores, and with the clock running, that may leave a little bit less time for them to go down and get the ball in the end zone.
So RFA here with third and inches. Look to get the first down. That's another direct snap to Hammond, and he pushes forward. Doesn't get a ton on the carry, maybe about 4, but he gets the first down for the Black Knights. It's I think the third time we've seen him take a direct snap, and this time on a crucial third and inches. So now, just inside the red zone, Black Knights, the rain keeps coming down. Doesn't have any signs of slowing down.
Oh, finds
It's going
the
to give
outside.
that. Yeah, that's a beautiful run on first down. Doesn't quite get the first down. But nice little run there on first down for the Black Knights. Yeah, it just does a great job finding and turning the corner there in that play. And just on the heels of the 10-yard line are the Black Knights.
Ooh,
Oh,
took him
man.
down.
And he takes him down, so brings up third down here. Great tackle on that play. Let's get a check to see who was there on that tackle. So great job there.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. They're putting Sauerhafer in a running back, even though he's the receiving yard leader. And plus, he's actually doesn't have, from what I'm looking at, does not have much rushing stats, as Jacob Ortiz is the leader. Yeah.
Looks like they still got Hammond in there. As he goes to the air, he connects with, that's going to be Dwayne Tillman. I apologize. So this brings up a 4th and 1. So they didn't get fully to the line to gain there. So crucial 4th down for both teams. Northstars looking to get a stop and prevent them from striking back here. The Black Knights look to make this a 1-score game.
Yeah, they're back in this double back formation.
Oh, no, that is first down. Okay, the scoreboard said 4th down, so it's a first down.
What a catch.
What a catch.
Over a CNS player.
Yeah, and that's still Luke Hammond there in the game. Interesting.
Just noticing the RFA brought their cheerleaders, and they're all wearing ponchos over there.
That was a risky ball.
Yeah, it was a risky ball indeed. Oh, yeah. Kuzio Wright could have got his hands in there and maybe picked that one off, but looked like he overcommitted and snuck his way past. But just great job by Luke Hammond. Shakti's staying in the game. Maybe Barone, something happened, or maybe they just wanted to change things up and get Hammond under center. As he connects with Carter Brzezinski, the junior, and the Black Knights have made this a 1-score game. Hammond going to keep it himself. He fights forward.
He get it?
I think he got it.
Yeah, he did.
Wow, great effort from Hammond on that play. And RFA within a score.
Fighting their way back.
Still a 1-score game, but RFA is still in this thing. That's a big shocker when you look back at the 6-71 or 6-41 score that we saw last game with RFA and Northstar. So be interesting to see if the Northstars can come up with a response. This rain just keeps hammering down. Wish we had our chief meteorologist, Kelly Heffron, in the booth, but we do not, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen in the playoffs, but I think CNS is still going to – I expect them to go and drive down the field here. But like you said, Joey, the 41-6 win, I'm sure they didn't have rainy conditions and a little bit of limiting factors.
Right. So another look at that playoff bracket, of course, the brothers having that round 1 bye. And next Friday, they'll be taking on the winner of the game Saturday. West Jenny, number 5, versus Utica Proctor, number 4, both under 500 on the season. Really the top 3 teams are the only ones above 500 on the season, the only ones with positive point differentials, the Northstars being one of those teams. And then the bottom 4, I should say, Proctor, West Jenny, RFA, and Baldwinsville. In the bottom 4. Here comes the kickoff after that score, and that one all the way into the end zone.
Wow.
Not quite sure if no, the wind's actually going in the other direction. So what a kick. I believe that's Luke Hammond.
Yeah, it was Luke Hammond.
Yeah, Luke Hammond, who plays tight end on the stats sheet, was just through a touchdown pass.
Yeah,
And is playing under quarterback, and now he gets a touchback on.
Monster kick.
Yeah, what a kick.
It's like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, right. Just throw him in there, you know.
Yeah.
He'll figure out something. He's making all sorts of plays here tonight for the Black Knights, and he's keeping them in this game. So 20, the Northstars on the 20. A bad snap, and Christian Green just forced to fall on top of that one. Let's see what happened on that play. Probably the conditions playing a factor in that one. Yeah, that was a very low snap. Could have just been some of the conditions, but that's going to back the Northstars up within their own 5, or on their 5, I believe. Actually, call it 5.5. Backed up quite a bit. Oh, and that's a high snap, as Dems is going to be forced to fall on top of it once more. Not a safety.
Doggy pile.
They say they have it, RFA. They think they came away with it. See what the officials say. I think they're going to let the Northstars keep it. Yeah, that one a high snap. The previous one a low snap. These wet conditions definitely. Oh, So backed up in their own end zone, and that's going to do it. The Northstars are going to be forced to punt. It's a 4th and about, I don't know, length of I-90 or so, you know, somewhere in that vicinity.
Like, I think it's like 16, maybe?
No, it's more than that. It's about 25.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one.
So Northstar is going to be forced to punt this one away. As a quick 3 and out for the Northstars, and RFA offense comes up with a score, and their defense comes up with a stop. So there is a flag on the play. I thought. I don't know. What did you see there, Ethan?
If anything, if it was on the defense, it would be an offsides or a neutral zone infraction of some kind, but it won't change the play here for North CNS.
So out of his own end zone, Gezzy boots this one away. That's a solid punt from there. Oh, actually, oh.
If it's roughing the punter, I think it's a first down for CNS. If it's running into the kicker, then it's a few yards, but looking at it, I'm guessing this is going to be roughing the kicker. It's automatic. It's 15 and first down. Yeah, if this is a roughing the punter or kicker, it's going to be 15 yards and an automatic first down. If it's just running into, CNS should be forced to punt again. But I'd be surprised if this is not.
So let's see what the call is from referee Joe Nicoletti.
If he's hurt, it's got to be roughing, right?
So they're moving the chains. Let's see if they flip it and give them the first down. All right. So my dad, who came for the second half here, says it's going to be roughing. And that's going to be an automatic first down. Wow. So RFA's offense comes up with a stop. RFA, or sorry, yeah, offense. Sorry, offense. Jeez. I'm a mess tonight. Jeez, I get it's the weather. It's the rainy weather. It gets you down. The RFA offense comes up with a score, and then the defense comes up with a stop. But wait a minute, there's a flag on the punt, and Northstars get an automatic first down, so they get a break.
Yeah, CNS looks out a little bit there.
They finally get a good
My-
snap and
my-
a good
my.
hold, and my McDowell Reed, he's off to the races. Can he outbeat the defender on his heels? He
Foot
cannot, but
race.
what an incredible run for McDowell Reed. Wow, he hasn't been in the game for a while.
Unnecessary roughness, I think.
Oh, so that's going to bring it forward a little bit more. But finally, a good snap by Pete Carochi. I mean, the conditions have been rough, so it's understandable why he's making some great snaps, or hasn't been making some great snaps. But McDowell Reed, he's been out for a little bit because they've been, I don't know if he was injured or if they were just trying to reserve him for a potential game versus Liverpool. He comes in the first play he makes is a huge run for that run's going to be for about 60 yards. I actually call it 70. So half the distance to the goal line. The personal potentially a late hit or unnecessary roughness.
Yeah. I think they bumped heads after they got up.
So not 100% sure. So the Northstars, they don't move forward a ton, only about 5-yard penalty, so it's not detrimental to RFAs. That's a high snap. Dems, he still has it, and he throws it away. Smart play by Dems. He could have lost yardage there, but he manages to get back up. And, you know, we saw some of those high snaps earlier, and he was able, and he mishandled it.
Yeah, looks like the rain's coming in here to play.
Oh, he barely. Okay, so we're looking back at the replay, and very interesting there. So what Mason mentioned, that they butted heads after, and that's the case on that one. So they give that to McDowell Reed. He goes around the outside into the end zone, and the Northstars have regained their 2-score lead.
After that first 60-yard run, he came off the sideline and he acted like he was hurt, but then he got back out there and scored that touchdown.
Oh, another flag here.
There is another flag after the touchdown. I'm guessing it did come in after the play. This will probably be some sort of an unsportsmanlike penalty on either side. It has gotten somewhat chippy after these last couple plays, so it'll be interesting to see what this is.
There is an injury on the play. So we're going to take an injury timeout. We'll be back in just a few moments. But on that one play, Mason pointed it out. He noticed it right there. He just knocked his helmet, and it looked almost unintentional. I feel like it would have been a little bit bigger had it been actually unnecessary. Not 100% sure there.
My mic came off again and was pulling on his shoulder.
So we'll be back in just a few moments as the injured Northstars tended to. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network. As Dem's going to keep it. That one low. So they were going for 2. Gezi got injured on that punt. So they really don't have a kicker to send in there. So they're most likely going to be going for 2 for the rest of the game. So we'll take a break here as the Northstar is going to kick this one away. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network, streaming live on YouTube, as Jacob Gezi looks to be all right, as he's going to be here for the kickoff after the Northstars go up 2 scores. They're going to be playing either Beeville or Liverpool in the semifinals.
Ooh, muffed.
That was muffed. It's going to go back into the end zone. He's going to be forced to take it out, but that's going to be a touchback, I believe.
He can't, like, take it back?
Since the punt did go in, or since the kick did end up in the end zone, even though it was being carried, this will go back out to the 20 for a touchback.
So yeah, some interesting high school rules there, but we luckily got a high school ref in here in the booth. So, and as I already mentioned, Joe Nicoletti, family member of mine, and my dad, obviously familiar with him from reffing and that stuff in general. But yeah, there. Huge thank you to our refs here tonight. Dwayne Ford, our umpire, referee Joe Nicoletti, linesman Byron Peterola, Mike Dixon, and Ryan Van Hooven. Ryan Van Hooven, the back judge, line judge Mike Dixon, and then linesman Byron Petrola. So we welcome you back here to the Northstar Network, streaming live on YouTube. We're going to send it quickly down here to Nate Gillespie. We'll keep talking to him, but we're going to show the main play here for a moment. But Nate, Northstars, of course, the first two scores by Christian Green we were already talking, but now Myjan McDowell-Reed was getting on the play. Do you know if Myjan, I don't know if you saw anything happen on the sideline. Do you know if Myjan came off from an injury or if they're just trying to rest him? Did you see anything happen there? And now that he's getting in some plays, what are you seeing from him?
No, I think I saw him. I think he was just up, just taking a little bit of rest. I think that's all they were doing. He was just in a little bit of a coat and then just kind of trying to huddle up and stay warm, I think. So, no, I don't think there was any injury there. Just think trying to rest him for a little bit and use him only when needed, especially because of the potential the semifinal season matchup next week.
Thank you so much. And one more thing, Nathan, before we come back up here in the booth. Conditions, the rain started to pick up again. How's it looking down there?
Rain's coming in the direction of the booth, the way that the camera will be looking, so it's kind of hard for me to see. It was definitely much worse, a little bit worse a little earlier. It's kind of died down just a little bit, but I mean, something else I noticed was even with the rain, RFA is willing to make the passes,
right,
compared to CNS. So, and some of them have worked. So, I mean, it clearly is not that bad, but definitely windy, definitely a little bit chilly, and definitely rainy.
It's a little bit of a mix of everything. Thank you so much, Nate.
You're welcome.
So we welcome you back up here in the booth. Joey Cox, Nate Gillespie down there on the sideline as a first down carry here for Luke Heyman. He was taking some snaps under center earlier and had the passing touchdown to try to get a RFA back in this one. The special teams for RFA does commit that roughing the kicker penalty, and that really shifted the momentum of the game. If RFA had gotten the ball back, they could have tied things up, and this could have been a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that'll definitely be talked about a lot. I mean, that was a big deciding factor, and unfortunately they roughed the punter, and they didn't have a chance to go out on offense and try to prove if they could score.
Right, so here they have a chance. There is only one quarter left to play, the fourth quarter. And definitely a crucial one here for RFA if they want to try to climb their way back into it. Got some Halloween music.
Thought I heard that.
Yeah. Got
Michael
some
Myers.
Michael Myers Halloween. Score update. So the Northstars came away with a 3-0 sweep to Living Word Academy. Over there in the high school gym. I'm just going to do a little quick look to see the score update for the Liverpool CBA game here, or Beeville game. I don't know what it's with me and saying CBA here today. I don't know. So, we weren't surprised about this. So, Liverpool with the ball, or actually, that's going to be Beeville with the ball. So, third quarter, Liverpool up 41-7. Were we surprised? Doesn't even look like it's raining there in Liverpool, although the camera feed's a little staticky, so I can't really tell. As not quite sure what happened there.
Dominic Summers on the sack. It's the second of the game.
Wow. Dominic Summers coming up with some big plays here in the quarterfinals. So after a huge sack from Dom Summers, again, that scoring update, we're not very surprised on that one. As there goes looked like a delay game from Beeville. Back to this game at hand, as it looks like a false start, so it's going to bring the Northstars, or sorry, the Black Knights back, and it's going to be a third and long here, third and about 15, call it 16, with the game likely hanging in the balance. Northstars will just probably stick to the ground, maybe give it to Christian Green, who's been great developing him here tonight, and he's definitely proven himself the RB1 for the Northstars next year. So Barone steps back to pass. He almost gets tackled for loss. Or sorry, that's actually Luke Hammond. I apologize. So Barone hasn't actually gone back in the game. I'm wondering if he got injured. I never saw him go down. Did any of you guys see him go down earlier?
I did not.
Yeah, so interesting there. All right. So Hammond's been under center for quite some time here, and he's got the game hanging in the balance, and the postseason hopes for the number 6 RFA Black Knights are in his hands. He's got a touchdown here tonight, the lone touchdown for the Black Knights. He also rushed in for the 2-point conversion for the Black Knights as well, as that's going to be a timeout taken by the Black Knights. We'll be back in just a few moments as they look to put this play together. 4th and 4 coming up. Welcome you back as it all comes down to this for RFA, as I think he's going to be short. No, he gets it. So a huge 4th down conversion here for RFA as their postseason hopes continue. But the clock is ticking and they're down by 2 scores, so they got to go quickly.
Yeah, so realistically, if they do keep running the ball, I kind of feel like it's helping the Northstars just by chewing that clock down.
Right. Got to get a quick pass off here, maybe. They got to score quick. I mean, they also have 1 timeout left as well, so most likely going to go for an onside kick of some sort if they score. Well, this play clock, seems to be some sort of confusion here.
Yeah, it's not ticking.
The play clock hasn't stopped, and it looks like they're actually. Are they going to say he was short? So they're discussing right now. Ref Joe Nicoletti talking with the linesman and line judge Mike Dixon, and he got it. That should be first down. Well, the sticks aren't. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Or maybe they were putting the stick. Wait, so the Northstars have it? So we're a little confused why it's facing the opposite direction. Okay, so we were a little confused there, but they were moving it back to see if he got the first down to measure it. But I mean, not quite sure what's happening over there in the. Oh, Mr. Gates. The random guy we don't know. He's a little upset over there. Yeah, we don't know that guy. Random dude. Not sure there. So, yeah, now they got to move the chains. They're just taking their good old time over there with the chain gang. So that was a long time just for that. A 2-minute discussion just to. Well, a season hangs in the balance for both of these teams, so got to make the right call. But it was definitely a first down. So now.
There's Ortiz.
There we
the
go.
Lead rusher.
It's actually, I believe, well, according to my roster,
Oh, yeah, that was Sauer. Yeah.
That's Sauerfer, yeah.
Yep.
Michael Sauerfer on the carry. He gets a huge first down there to move the chains.
It's interesting. I think I said it previously that they're not using their lead back.
Yeah. Maybe he's out with an injury, not
yeah,
quite
I'm not sure. No, I've seen him on a couple of snaps, but not taking much touches tonight.
Yeah, 230 yards on the season for him and a touchdown. Though Saufer does have the better average. He's got 9.8 yards per carry. He's only got, prior to coming in this game, he's got 9 attempts for 88 yards. And there is J.J. Ortiz on the carry. And there's an injured Northstar out there, although he gets right back up. So it looks like he's going to be all right. So he's slow to get up, but that's Dom DeViro, I believe. Yep. He's the leading tackler for the Northstars. Would have been a big loss, but no, he's all right. He's just a little slow to get up. Maybe the wind got knocked out of him. But he does all right. J.J. Ortiz was on that last carry. But, yeah, Michael Saufer coming in this game, 9 attempts for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he's, statistically, you look, 2 touchdowns on only 9 attempts. Oh, that one batted up, and the Northstars pick it off. Oh! An incomplete interception. We're watching the replay here. So it was batted up at the line of scrimmage. Well, a little past the line of scrimmage. In the air. And he had it. He just dropped it. So an incomplete interception, if you will. He's beating himself up about that. I'm not 100% sure who was on that play, but. Okay, so that was Lucuzio Wright, who leads the team in interceptions.
Yeah, we saw a play like that last week in CBA where the ball got batted up and they just couldn't come down with it.
Right, that one. Actually, that might have been. Is that a 23? Sorry, I misheard our rules analyst Ethan Hansen. He was talking to my dad about somebody else, so it was not Lucuzio, right? Looked like it was. I saw it 2, perhaps 23. Let's get another replay. All right, so last time out for RFA. They're taking it early. We'll be back in just a few.
Welcome you back here to the Northstar Network, streaming live on YouTube. As that one is actually Prodigy Shepard who
Unloads
batted
one.
that one.
Oh.
Yeah, unloads it deep and overthrown.
Whoa.
Ooh. Interesting flag thrown
No
by the
CNS
back judge, Ryan Van Hoven.
No CNS coaches are happy at all.
Interesting. I didn't see any holding or anything. It was just an overthrown pass, and the receiver wasn't open. That was not catchable.
I think they're going to call PI.
That's interesting because that ball wasn't really catchable. All right, so my officiating knowledge is limited to the NFL because I'm like, well, that ball was uncatchable, but that has nothing to do apparently in high school, which doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. I mean, I guess his back was turned, but I mean, I'm not seeing too much.
Like, well, normally if you're just, I don't know. So technically, any player interfering with any player while the ball's in the air, whether the player is at the line of scrimmage or all the way in the end zone, it's pass interference regardless. All right, well, I guess it's not the intended, even if it's not the intended receiver.
More likely if the ball is thrown away from the guy, the ball is thrown in this direction. So.
All right, so even though it wasn't catchable, all right, well, guess they just like to make things difficult for us commentators who watch NFL and know NFL rules, but now we got to know all these other particulars here.
Hammond got swarmed there.
Yeah.
I at least saw Ethan Newton come in.
Look like, yeah, man. Northstar is just doing a great job here tonight. Tavion Jones, that's his third sack of the game.
Yeah. Had a couple last game against CBA too, so.
So, backed up third down on the heels of the red zone with the season on the line for the Black Knights. Hammond. He fires forward, and that's going to be incomplete. Fairly accurate pass, but Dwayne Tillman couldn't haul it in. And that's going to bring up a 4th and long situation. Obviously, RFA, no other choice but to go for it. As we're getting a discussion here. As there's a flag on the play.
Exactly, that's the reaction I get every time. That's the reaction I get every time. People who don't even have her. Or she just got married again.
All right, so while they discuss things, we'll take a break here. So we're going to send it to Ethan Hansen, our rules analyst. What'd you see, or what'd you hear / see on that play?
This was way after the play, more towards the Northstar sideline, so it was pretty clear it was going to be some sort of an unsportsmanlike penalty coming from the Northstar side. It was surprising to see it was on Rome, but I'm guessing someone must have said something towards the Northstar side of the field.
Thank you so much, as that one flipped over the line of scrimmage, and this is probably going to be the season for RFA, as they got no timeouts left. They're down 2 scores. They turn over it on downs, and the Northstars are most likely just going to chew the clock. So yeah, you look at that play again, Hammond, he really had no options. He didn't want to put the ball in harm's way by just firing it downfield, so maybe he hopes that his receiver can just try to make some moves. And Jordan Diaz unable to get anything going, as that's going to be turnover on downs, and the Northstar is going to have it. Again, no timeouts remaining for RFA, and looks like this is just going to be a chewing of the clock scenario for the Northstars. Not a shocker here, a score update. 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and Liverpool up 48-7. So, and again, with no timeouts left for RFA, and with just under 6 minutes left to go, Northstars up 2 scores. It's most likely going to be CNS at Liverpool in the semifinals. And then just knowing the history, it's probably going to be one of those teams versus CBA at the Dome.
Ravens go down and score 1. Dolphins are in the red zone. A little Thursday night football.
Just need Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson making his return after Cooper Rush being the starting QB for the Ravens.
Yeah, I think Mark Andrews gets the touchdown. And then A-Chain just got a 22-yard play, so we'll be in the red zone.
So that helps my... Oh, geez. 9 yards and a touchdown for Lamar Jackson. Zay Flowers, I need some Zay Flowers points here, too. Oh, yeah. So 3rd and 3 here for CNS. 4:40. And the clock continues to tick. The Northstars taking as much time as they need. Definitely want to get the first down here, but so you see Myjan McDowell-Reed comes into the game.
It's actually a little interesting. I expect to see Christian Green getting a little bit of carries now that they've secured the win. Just about.
Maybe they just want to get the first down here. Guarantee.
Oh.
Well, let's add on some more points while we're at it.
Yeah.
McDowell-Reed should have stayed in bounds to keep the clock running, but does a great job there on that play. And gets a huge gain to move the chains and give the Northstars a first down. So Northstars on RFA's 34-yard line, and they just look to put this game away with 4:12 left to go in this fourth quarter. McDowell-Reed still out there in the game. He gets brought down at around the 35. So it's at the 25. So solid gain there. On first down, a gain of about 9 for McDowell-Reed, as it brings up 2nd and an inch. 2nd and a yard. So Northstar's taking as much time as they need in the huddle.
Christian Green in the backfield.
Yep. So he's getting some meaningful carries here tonight.
Also kind of surprised with them still being in. I thought we'd see a little bit of action from Kais Johnson.
And Dems takes it himself, a designed run, as he slides and keeps the clock running. So the clock does stop to reset the chains, but then the clock will continue running after that. But the Northstars putting this game away, and no shock over there in Liverpool. They lead that thing 48-7 last time we checked, and it still remains. Well, so still 48-7 in the third quarter of that Liverpool game. Liverpool with the ball, and it's 20-8 in this ball game as Christian Green finds the gap. Great job by him, and he's got 3 touchdowns. He's got a hat trick. Christian Green, wow, he's been incredible tonight for the Northstars in a quarterfinal matchup where we thought we'd see Majan the whole game. But, you know, looking at the history between these two teams and how the Northstars have just dominated these matchups, it makes sense why they want to give some meaningful carries to an up-and-coming senior who's going to be taking that RB1 spot and making sure that your star running back is healthy for most likely, well, not most likely, definitely a semifinal versus Liverpool at Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be horrible to lose Majan in this playoff run that they have going here. So definitely just play conservative here and let Christian Green get the carries.
So 2:48 left to go, and the Northstars are going to put the dagger in this one. The conditions are getting better now. The rain is starting to slow, and Gezi puts
back on the field.
He puts that one through, but defensive offside, so that penalty's. Oh, okay, so that moves the Northstars a little bit closer. Well, they'll still go for the extra point. Gezi drilled the first one, but it was blown dead. Looks to drill the second. Wind's still blowing, but not as bad as we saw earlier. And he takes it into account there, and he knocks that one through to give the Northstars a 27-8 lead. So Northstars just put the dagger in. Christian Green with 3 touchdowns here tonight, and he has been excellent for this Northstars offense here tonight, and he's definitely going to be the star and the clear RB1 for the Northstars, unless they got somebody who tries out next year that just shocks them or something like that. But Christian Green, he's definitely, like we were talking about, a Cam Scadabo-esque. He's got the power, not as fast as Majan McDowell-Reed. You know, Scadaboo's not as fast as a lot of other RBs in the league, but he gets touchdowns, he's powerful, he gets first downs, and that's all you really need out of a running back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he has the elusiveness to make plays, huge chunk plays, and he has the build to, knock anyone down and go right through them.
Yep. And we saw it on that play too. He had a nice little shiftiness to him on that last play, finding the gap around the line of scrimmage and getting the touchdown to put the dagger in here for the Northstars. So we'll be back in just a few moments. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network. 27-8 ball game in the fourth quarter, 2:48 left to go. And the fourth quarter just about to start here for the Liverpool-Beeville game. As Liverpool sits up 48-7. So that one trickles. RFA going to pick it up. And he gets maybe a yard after picking it up. Gezi, after having a little bit of an injury scare earlier in the game, he's back out there, and he boots that one away for the Northstars. So RFA, they got no timeouts. Maybe they're just going to look for another score just to get something on the board, just to make it look a little bit more not as much of a blowout, if you will. I mean, this game wasn't necessarily a blowout to start, but the Northstars definitely put the dagger in with that final touchdown. But
Yeah, definitely. But I think the conditions definitely came through and made them run the ball a little bit more, because I believe last game they had a little bit of passing involved, which probably could have expanded the lead.
Yeah, RFA running offense has struggled this season. As it struggles there, what a great tackle for loss.
I think that's Nadarin Carter Jr.
Yeah, it's going to be Nadarin Carter Jr., who we'll probably see on the basketball team later this season, or in the fall season. He made some big plays for the basketball team last year, and here he comes up with a tackle for loss. He actually, fun fact, he's got 2 receptions on the season.
Both touchdowns.
Both touchdowns for 70 yards combined. So, and, he's got 3 tackles on the season, so he doesn't get a lot of snaps on defense. But it seems like when he does, when he has snaps, they're meaningful.
Yeah.
And I think definitely with some players like Donovan Chaney leaving, with some bigger playmakers on the offense leaving, or on the defense leaving, and even offense as well, receiver-wise as well. I could see Darren Carter Jr. next year making some big moves and stepping up.
Yeah, he could definitely step up.
Makes a big tackle for loss there, and after that penalty, they're backed up even further. RFA, maybe they're just going to let this clock run out themselves. Maybe get a burst and maybe get another score to make the loss look a little less.
Yeah, I mean, this game, I think CNS just came in and their run offense just looked completely dominant. I mean, RFA had nothing to stop it, so that'll probably be the key factor why they won today.
Yep. And 3 out of the 4 touchdowns coming from Christian Green, stepping up in this big quarterfinal matchup. Pushes forward, and that's just going to about do it. That clock's going to run. They'll maybe run one more play. And Northstar's run defense just been on point here tonight, putting some stops to these potentially big plays and doing a great job stacking the box. As in the 4th quarter, the score still sits 48-7 at Liverpool.
Yeah, as for next week, I think they have a pretty good matchup against Liverpool. It just really depends, Johnson Doney has been passing the ball very well, so we'll just see how their secondary works and just see how their defense and offense works overall.
Yeah, they're going to run one more play, and that's going to do it. So the Northstars coming away with a victory. At a couple points, it was a little close for comfort, but Black Knights looked like they were going to come back for a second, but that it really came down to that roughing the kicker penalty, and that really changed the game for the Northstars for the better, for the Black Knights for the worse. So
definitely.
Northstars dominating on the ground. Black Knights getting a little bit more done in the air than the Northstars, but overall the Northstars playing the more complete game both on defense and offense, and they're going to move on to play Liverpool at Liverpool. That's going to be next week. Let's take a look at our bracket. So that's obviously going to change. So it's going to be Liverpool and CNS, number 3 and number 2. Going to be playing at Liverpool next Friday, November 7th. And then CBA has obviously got the bye, and the winner of the West Jenny Utica Proctor game on Saturday, that's at 1 o'clock, they'll go on to play CBA. So we thank you so much for joining us here on the Northstar Network. I'm Joey Cox, your play-by-play commentator. A huge thank you to our crew, Alex Schneibel, our producer, our camera operator, Owen Lynch, our sideline operator, Nate Jaleski, our my color commentators, and our rules analysts. Of course, we got Ethan Hansen, rules analyst, Mason Hind, and Gianni Cavelli, my color commentators. Huge thank you to our athletic trainer, Katie Clark, our scoreboard operator, I believe it's Chris Pilata here tonight, and our PA announcer, Daryl White, our athletic director, Tim Bednarski, and our, as Daryl White gives us the a little nod over there as Liverpool actually scores in the meantime, so they're up 54-7. But as always, huge thank you to Tim Bednarski and our facility manager, Joe Howell. I'm Joey Cox saying so long